Hi, this is Grandpa from Grammy Grandpa Read, and we've got another Jan Brett special. It's called Home for Christmas. And as always, I love the illustrations in these books. Rolo was a wild troll, a very wild troll, always racing off, his scruffy troll tail bouncing around behind him. Troll tails will drop off one day, but only if a troll is kind, helpful, and does his chores. Rolo's little sister had lost hers long ago, but Rolo didn't care one bit. He just did whatever he wanted. Rolo never made his bed for Mama Troll. He never chopped wood for Papa Troll. He never helped little sister collect eggs. One morning, when they all asked for his help, Rolo had had enough. No, 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 he whooped, and he grabbed his rucksack, leapt over their heads, and ran toward the mountains. Mama Troll looked at Papa Troll and shook her head sadly. The chances of Rolo losing his tail are mighty slim, she said. Rolo walked along, getting hungry and tired. Where would he spend the night? He spied an owl's nest up in a tree. Hooray, Rolo shouted. It's up this tree for me. He climbed up and snuggled down among the owlets as Mother Owl looked on. When the little birds opened their mouths wide, Rolo opened his too. Yum, free food, he thought. Sleepy and full, he dozed off, tucked under Mother Owl's warm, fluffy feathers. No bed to make here, he mumbled. Ooh, I don't know if I'd want to eat what the owls eat. Would you? But this lazy life didn't last long. The owlets grew fast and the nests got crowded. They spent hours flapping their wings until the day came for the owlets to fly. Mother Owl glared at Rolo, but he didn't move, so she bumped him out of the nest. Can't you see I don't have wings? Rolo screeched. Rolo shook the feathers out of his hair and strode through the forest, leaping and chasing field mice as he went. He hadn't gone far when he spotted Mother Bear watching her two cubs, rolling around and roughhousing in the grass. Rolo dove in, cuffing the cubs and tickling their noses. Mother Bear didn't care. Now she had 3 naughty creatures to watch over instead of 2. That night, Rolo followed the bears to their mossy cave and fell asleep curled up with the bear cubs, mumbling, "No wood to cut here." As the days passed, it got harder for Rolo to keep up with the bears. They had tough paws and sharp claws to help them scramble over rocks and climb trees looking for food. Then, at the end of summer, Mother Bear spotted a hive. She opened it up with a big swipe of her paw, and delicious honey gushed out. It had been a long time since Rolo had tasted anything so sweet. He shoved the baby bears aside. Big mistake. The angry bees aimed their stingers at him. Rolo threw himself into a nearby pool and dove under the water. Rolo floated up, the taste of honey still in his mouth. Oh, I wish I had some of little sister's sweet nose print cookies, he thought. Maybe I should go home. But he saw a gang of otters playing on the waterfall. Wait for me, he cried as he scrambled out, threw off his wet clothes, and dove back in to slide down the waterfall. This is the life for me. One morning, Rolo awoke to find a thin skim of ice on the pool. Otter didn't give it any mind, but Rolo could not stop shivering. He put on his clothes, stuffed his boots with moss, waved goodbye, and went on his way. It was snowing when Rolo met up with a new friend who was as wild as he was. Lynx liked to play pounce and hide and seek, so did Rolo. While they were romping in the snow, little sister was at home feeding his hedgehog. Rolo may be gone for now, she said, but we miss him every day. It got colder and colder. The lingonberries froze and food was harder to find. One afternoon, Rolo felt Lynx's eyes staring at him in a hungry way. It was time to move on. The drifts got deeper, and Rolo's nose was turning blue when he noticed moose tracks, big and little. He followed them up the mountain to a meadow where he saw father moose, mother moose, and their calf standing in the snow. "Hi-ho," he called, and pranced over to them. Rolo made friends right away. He found berries and lichen under the snow where Father Moose had scraped away the ice with his hoofs. He ate and ate while the moose calf drank some warm milk from Mother Moose. I didn't even know you could eat lichen. Rolo spent the night with the Moose family. The next morning, he was so happy to be with them that he jumped up expecting to get a big hug from Mother Moose, just the way his mother hugged him at home. But Mother Moose was not used to a cold, pointy troll nose pushing into her soft, warm nose. She tossed her head and galloped off, leaving Rolo sprawled in the snow. That night, Rolo was riding along on Father Moose's antlers when the antlers began to sway. "Oh no," Rolo shouted, holding on tight. "Winter is when moose shed their antlers," and he found himself tumbling down, landing in a snowdrift. He was brushing snow out of his eyes when he smelled the smoke of a wood fire. "That's coming from my house," he imagined, the warm fire inside, the good food, and his soft bed. Most of all, he remembered Mama and Papa's big hugs and little sister laughing at his jokes. He began to sniffle and cry. As Rolo's sobs got louder, the antler began to rock back and forth on the slippery snow. It started sliding down the mountain faster and faster, bouncing over icy boulders and skidding across frozen rivers. It was an antler toboggan. Rolo spotted his little house down in the valley, and his sobs turned to whoops of joy. Rolo's family was on their way home with their Christmas tree when he heard whoops echoing down the mountain. They knew in an instant that Rolo had come home. They rushed to meet him as fast as they could. On Christmas Eve, the Troll family gathered to light the holiday candles. Mama, Papa, and little sister looked around proudly at the beds Rolo had made, the wood he had chopped, and the cookies little sister had baked with the eggs he had gathered. Papa Troll grinned as Rolo leaned forward to light a candle. "Have you lost something, Rolo?" he asked. Rolo just smiled. "I'm home for Christmas," he caroled. "For the best Christmas ever," little sister sang. The cat just purred. He had a new toy. You see what it is? It's his tail. His tail came off because he did all the chores. After the feast, the Troll family sat by the fire, home for Christmas, all together singing and telling stories far into the night. Oh, that's a fun one. Hope you guys help out your mom and dad and help around the house, do your chores so that your tails will fall off. If you have tails, which I doubt you do. Anyway, smash the like button down below, subscribe to the channel, watch the Christmas playlist and the Jan Brett playlist. Have a great Christmas.